Hey, did you know that parenting a toddler doesn't have to feel like diffusing a ticking time bomb every single day? I've got 4 dead simple habits that can flip the script from hair-pulling chaos to those heart-melting giggles you live for. Stick with me, because I'm about to spill secrets that'll make you wonder why nobody told you this sooner. Now let's dive a bit deeper. Ever caught yourself wondering why your little tornado seems hell-bent on touching every forbidden thing in sight? It's not just to drive you up the wall, I promise. That urge to grab, poke, and prod is how they're wiring their brains, learning textures, shapes, cause, and effect. It's pure science, not spite. But here's the kicker. Every time you bark stop or don't touch that, you're not just stressing yourself out. You're frustrating them too. Picture this. You're surrounded by shiny, fascinating stuff. But every time you reach out, someone's hovering, shutting you down. Maddening, right? That's your toddler's world. So what if I told you there's a way to cut those battles by half just by tweaking their space? I'm talking about a yes space. A safe zone where they can roam free without you playing helicopter parent. Think of a room or corner with no breakables, no choking hazards, just soft toys and sturdy stuff. Baby gates up, sharp edges padded, favorite trinkets stashed high. I remember setting up a little nook in our living room. Cushions, a low shelf with board books, and a basket of blocks. First day, I sat back with a coffee, watching my kid explore without a single no from me. It felt like a mini vacation. That's the power of rethinking their environment. It's not about bending them to fit your world. It's about crafting a corner of yours that fits them. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of why toddler life feels like a roller coaster, and how these habits can smooth out the ride. First off, toddlers aren't mini adults. They're wired differently. Their brains are growing at warp speed, forming 1 million new neural connections every second, according to child development studies. That's why they're so curious, so impulsive, and so darn hard to redirect. But when we clash with that natural wiring by constant correction, we're not just fighting them, we're fighting biology. So habit 1, creating that yes space is your foundation. It's not just a play area, it's a pressure valve. I've seen it work wonders with countless families. One mom I know had a 2-year-old who'd bolt for every glass vase in sight. After setting up a gated play zone in the family room, no vases, no cords, just safe toys, she went from yelling 10 times an hour to barely once a day. That's real change. Habit 2 is all about how you talk. Toddlers don't process negatives well. Their brains skip over don't and hear the action. Say, don't run, and they just hear run. Flip it to walk inside. You've got clarity. I tried this during a chaotic grocery trip. My little one was darting down aisles, and instead of stop running, I crouched down and said, let's walk together. He slowed right down, grinning like he'd cracked a code. It's not magic. It's just meeting them where their comprehension is. Third habit, toy rotation. Kids get bored fast. Their attention span is about as long as a goldfish's. Instead of buying new stuff, stash half their toys in a closet. Swap them out every week or when you see them tossing blocks out of boredom. I did this with a set of puzzles and cars, hid them for 2 weeks, then brought them back. My kid lit up like it was Christmas morning. Last, transitions. Moving from play to nap or park to home is a mental marathon for them. They've got to stop, control impulses, shift focus, all while maybe not wanting to. Warn them ahead with a timer or countdown. I've used my phone timer for bath time, 5 minutes till bubbles, and set it where we both see the countdown. When it beeps, there's no shock. It's just time. I've had parents tell me this slashed tantrum time by half at pickup from daycare. Just a heads up, like 2 more slides, then we go works. These aren't just tips. They're rooted in how toddlers tick. Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics backs this up. Positive guidance and structured environments cut behavioral issues by 30% in young kids. I've watched a dad go from dreading park exits to breezing through them with a simple countdown. Another family turned their living room into a yes space and reclaimed their sanity. No more shattered picture frames, just laughter. These habits build a bridge over the daily chaos, not by changing your kid, but by changing how you meet their needs. But hold on, here's a curveball. Have you ever stopped to think why some transitions turn into full-blown meltdowns? Even with a warning. It's not just stubbornness, it's raw emotion. They're losing something they love, like sliding down that park slide one more time. And their little hearts can't handle the switch. That disappointment can erupt. No matter how well you prep. I've been there, counting down 3 more swings, buddy, thinking I've got this, only to face a whale that could shatter glass when it's time to leave. It's normal. Their emotional regulation is a work in progress. Studies show kids under 3 often can't self-soothe without help. So, you've got to lean in, not pull back. Acknowledge the feeling. I know you're sad to stop swinging. I get it. Before guiding them to the next step. I remember one rainy afternoon, my kid didn't want to leave a friend's house after I'd given a 10-minute heads up with a timer. Tears started, and instead of rushing out, I sat with them for a sec. Just saying, "It's hard to say bye, huh? We'll see them soon." That tiny pause turned a potential meltdown into a sniffly but manageable exit. The trick isn't avoiding the big feelings. It's showing them you're a safe harbor when the storm hits. And here's the deeper layer. Punishment doesn't teach during these moments. Yelling or taking away treats might stop the noise now, but research from the Journal of Child Psychology shows it just ramps up anxiety long-term, not better behavior. Instead, guiding them through the emotion builds trust. I've seen a parent swap "no dessert if you cry" for a quiet "let's breathe together." And over weeks, their toddler started calming faster. It's not instant, but it's lasting. Transitions are a battleground because they test impulse control and emotional bandwidth. Skills your toddler is just starting to grow. Layer in patience with those countdowns or timers. And you're not just easing the moment, you're wiring their brain for resilience. Keep at it, even when it feels like you're talking to a wall. Every small win stacks up. Let's hit the peak of this journey. Why these 4 habits aren't just band-aids, but game changers, and how they tie into every corner of toddler chaos. Start with the yes space. It's more than a safe spot. It's freedom with guardrails. Child development experts note that unstructured play in a secure environment boosts problem solving by 25% in kids under 5. I've watched a little explorer in a gated den figure out how to stack cups into a tower. No parent hovering, just pure focus. Something impossible if I'd been saying, "don't touch," every 2 seconds. That space lets their curiosity breathe, cutting your stress while their skills soar. Now, positive communication. Telling them what to do, not what not to, isn't just clearer, it's empowering. A study from the National Institute of Child Health found kids given positive directives follow through 40% more often than with negative ones. Think of a hectic morning, kid tossing cereal everywhere. Instead of "stop throwing," I said, "keep it on the tray, champ." They paused, looked at the tray, and actually tried. It's not foolproof, but it shifts the vibe from conflict to teamwork. Toy rotation, habit 3, hacks their short attention spans. Boredom breeds mischief. Rotating toys mimics novelty without draining your wallet. I've swapped out a bin of stuffed animals for forgotten rattles, and suddenly, a cranky afternoon turned into an hour of quiet play. Experts say this can extend focused play by 15 to 20 minutes per session. Huge for a toddler. Finally, easing transitions with warnings isn't just about avoiding tantrums. It's teaching emotional navigation. A 2021 study in Early Childhood Research Quarterly showed kids given consistent transition cues had 35% fewer behavioral outbursts over 6 months. I've used a sand timer for cleanup. When the sand's gone, toys go away. And after a few tries, my kids started racing to beat it, giggling instead of fighting. But let's zoom in on a real story. A family I worked with had a 3-year-old who'd scream bloody murder leaving the playground. Mom was at her wit's end, dreading every outing. We layered in all 4 habits, set up a yes space at home for safe energy release, switched to positive phrases like, let's walk to the car, rotated park toys to keep things fresh, and used a countdown for leaving. 5 more swings. First week, still some tears, but by week 3, the kid was waving bye to the slide like an old friend. Mom said it felt like getting her life back. The logic here is ironclad. Toddlers thrive on structure, clarity, and empathy, not control or chaos. These habits aren't random. They target impulse, emotion, and curiosity, the trifecta of toddlerhood. Data backs it. Real change proves it. One habit alone helps, but together, they rebuild your day. I've seen parents go from counting hours till bedtime to savoring silly moments, like a toddler proudly walking inside after a gentle nudge. The evidence isn't just in studies. It's in quieter dinners, fewer meltdowns, more hugs. These habits don't erase tough days, but they shrink them, stacking the deck for connection over conflict. Keep tweaking, keep observing. Your kids' cues will show you what's clicking. All right, let's take a breather with a little chuckle, because if you're parenting a toddler, you know laughter's sometimes the only thing keeping you sane. Picture this. I'm all proud of myself, setting a phone timer for a 5-minute warning before nap time, thinking I'm the master of transitions. I place it on the counter, my kids stacking blocks, glancing at the ticking numbers like it's a spaceship countdown. I get distracted, maybe scrolling through a recipe for dinner. Who knows? And suddenly, blaring alarm. I jump a mile, blocks go flying, my toddler's staring at me like I've lost it. And I realize I forgot the whole point of the timer. We both just crack up, sitting in a pile of scattered toys. And I'm like, well, guess it's nap time now, huh? It's those little oops moments that remind you to roll with the punches. Parenting isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, even when you're the one who needs the reminder beep. I've had days where the yes space gets invaded by a rogue sock puppet, or I accidentally say, don't walk, instead of let's tiptoe, and it all goes sideways, but laughing at myself lightens the load. I remember another time rotating toys and pulling out a squeaky duck my kid hadn't seen in weeks. I squeeze it to test the noise. Big mistake. Cue an hour of duck demands while I'm trying to cook. I finally gave in, quacking along during dinner prep, and we turned it into a goofy song. These hiccups, these tiny detours, they're the glue of memory making. They're proof you're in the messy, beautiful trenches together. So when the timer blares or the toy swap backfires, don't sweat it. Giggle, shrug, and keep going. I've found that humor sneaks in when you least expect it, like catching your toddler mimicking your walk inside tone to their teddy bear. All serious-like. It's a reminder. They're watching, learning, and sometimes they're the ones teaching you to loosen up. Next time your perfect plan flops, let it be a story not a stress. Share that blooper reel in your mind with a smirk. Maybe it's forgetting the countdown at the park, or tripping over a yes space toy mid-lecture. These are the bits you'll laugh about years from now when the tantrums are just blurry snapshots. So lean into the absurd, quack with the duck, dance off a missed alarm, and remember, a good belly laugh can reset even the roughest morning. So here we are. 4 habits to make toddler parenting less of a battlefield and more of a playground. Craft that yes space to let them explore without a million no's. Switch your words to guide with do's instead of don'ts. Rotate those toys to keep boredom at bay. And prep for transitions with clear warnings to dodge the meltdown minefield. Start with one. Any one, and watch the shift. Less stress, more smiles. If you're vibing with these ideas and want to keep hearing my stories, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Your support keeps me sharing. And hey, drop a comment. What's the wildest toddler meltdown you've navigated, and how do you get through it? I'm all ears for your tales from the trenches.